Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
I'm Tiffany. We were supposed to be off today, but we decided to do a show. So, hi.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
geez. We're
what's the
good.
matter?
We're good. I can't move this.
Well, anyway, today is a fun-filled, action-packed, light episode of our usual comic book review show, where we take the books from the past week and we recap them, review them, and tell you what we thought about them, and then give you recommendations for comics that are coming out this week that we think you should buy. We all set over there?
Yep, we good.
I also want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to our pals over at Valiant for hooking us up. They not only gave us a nice copy of the upcoming Archer and Armstrong #1, which is Archer and Armstrong Forever #1. It's just a fun little book. I got a chance to read it early and I enjoyed it. And I was like, this is a fun little book. Like, this is just if you like Archer and Armstrong, you're going to enjoy the series. But the thing that's really more interesting to talk about is the promotional item they sent us, because there's a plot point in there. They mailed us this ear. This is an ear.
This is an ear.
And as you can see, it's branded Archer and Armstrong Forever. Valiant mailed us an ear.
They did.
And I thought maybe this might be some kind of Sicilian warning. But as it turns out, it's a stress ball that retailers, apparently, they like the stress ball as a promotional item.
That way, if it is a Sicilian warning, you could, relieve some of the tension and stress of the impending doom coming your way.
Yes. But in the book, Armstrong gets his ear chopped off, and
does he just send it to someone he loves as like a?
No, he's not Van Going. It's more like against his will, and he can't recover it, and so he needs to, So there's a question about where the ear is, and it's cute, but like cute. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I thought this is the most original piece of comic book marketing I've ever seen.
An ear.
And
that really threw me off too, because like they had to put it in something to make sure it was waterproof.
Right, so it was in a Ziploc baggie.
Yeah, which I kind of loved the presentation of this whole thing.
Yeah, so I just got this in the mail, just an ear in a bag. I was like,
yeah,
but yeah. Then I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. So I just wanted to mention it.
I just really liked. I liked everything about that presentation. Honestly, that was a 10 out of 10 presentation.
Yeah,
for me.
And no one will ever do anything like this ever again.
No, they won't. We will never get another
need to talk
ear.
To like them. I need to ask them, like, who did you get? Like, who will make you an ear?
You like anybody. Why, you want to make some more?
No, I mean, like, can I make other body parts? Like, can we get a nose?
Oh, okay, like that.
Or a dick?
Okay, there it is. There it is.
The comic cock?
Nope, nobody wants that.
But we can send people in the mail? I think not. But yeah, it's interesting. Look at that. It's very Alfred E. Newman. But we got a comic books to talk about. Of course, we want to mention that this show is sponsored by viewers like you. If you're watching the show right now live, welcome. You're the lucky few who are catching this as it's happening. And you can sponsor today's episode by using Super Chats and ask a question or comment here on the show. If you would like to help us in any other more direct way, you can always join us on patreon.com/ComicPop. Or if you'd like to hang out with us and meet us in person, you can do that this Saturday, March 26th. Joe Kubert School and Dewey's Comic City. You plug in both addresses. Either one will work. It'll take you to the place you want to go. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Joe Kubert School of Art in Dover, New Jersey. We will be there. Tiffany will be there. I will be there. Ethan will be there. And even Ben will be there.
Yeah. What was that? No.
Tuesday. Oh. No, sorry. 2:00 p.m. Saturday, March 26th.
Now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, listen, you got to come out and meet us. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you check the community tab on youtube.com/ComicPop, there is a Facebook event. Give me an idea if you're coming or not. You don't
we
have
just want to know how much
cake
get to order.
Exactly, because it's going to be our 8-year anniversary of the launching of Back Issues. March 26th, 2014 was when Back Issues launched.
Yeah, and we're going to get cake.
We're going to get cake. We're going to have water.
Yeah, cake and water.
Apparently people need water, so we're going to make sure.
The like time-honored combination.
Yes.
Cake
so
and
it's going to be like a birthday in prison, basically. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to do a fun live Back Issues that may never be recorded. Who knows? I have no idea what my plan is. But yeah, so come see us.
Let me know. I can set it up.
What, the recording?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I mean, any of us can, but...
Right?
Like,
you just offered like.
I could do it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Thanks.
I don't care.
So yeah, before we jump into books, you know what? Let's jump into some books. Let's just go ahead and do
like,
it.
I'm just like, holla at you, girl. I need to put this away. I can't. I'm going to be not helpful at all.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this like smallish.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. There were big books this week. There just weren't a lot of books this week. And
That's
in fact,
true.
next week is one of those weeks. I kind of peeked ahead. I was like, oh, I've got a bit coming out.
Mm.
This is that week that always comes, and I'm always like, where is everything?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, right, because they're gonna like cram it into 2 other weeks. I'm like, but that's not their fault. They don't know.
No,
they don't know what my reading or like load is.
No, they don't. They don't.
And that's okay.
They don't care anyway.
It's probably gonna work out for the best anyway, since I've been working on something else.
Yes. You've been working diligently, hardcore on an upcoming episode of Back Issues. I'm really excited about it. I asked Tiffany to make heads or tails of it. It's a book. It's an event. It's a massive company-wide crossover that everyone knows about in some way, but no one can summarize. Nobody talks about. There's never been a video about it on YouTube.
I'm sure there are.
If there are, they're like really small. Usually, like they're book reviews. Like, oh, I really like the binding on this book, but I'll be damned if I tell you what happens in it.
Mm.
And not only did you discover what happens, but also
I'm working through it.
How directly and tangentially connected it is to that character's entire mythology and history and bibliography up to this point now.
Yes.
So I'm really excited.
Yes, this was a reading assignment.
It was
than anything else.
It was.
This was not,
and it has nothing to do with anything. Not like anything's coming up.
No. This is one of those few though where you've been like, hey, you took the ear away. Usually you're like, hey, is there something you want? Or like, hey, we really should do this. Like there's a couple that we've got coming up that I'll do at some point that like it's completely something I would cover. I've already read it. I just have to review it and do it. But this was something that was like, we should do this.
Yeah. I feel like
your turn.
Well, I'm like,
okay.
this is something we should do.
Yeah.
I would love to get it done, within a advancing timetable. And I think there's something cool there.
Yeah.
But not as cool as coming to see us on March 26th at 2 p.m. at the Joe Kubert School of Art.
I feel like we're using a little bit of decompression here on our show.
A little bit. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. So Nightwing, number 90, written by Tom Taylor with art by Geraldo Borges. I'm deliberately saying it wrong. Is out, and so the last 2 issues were Nightwing hanging out with John Kent Superman, and they're fun. They're fun little stories where it's like John and Dick connect. But here's one that is really fun where it's Wally and Dick, and that's really, really awesome.
Okay.
In the story, Blockbuster takes a hit out on Dick Grayson, and the rumor is he's dead. He's not. He saves everybody in the building instead, and it's great because Wally hears about it while he's in bed, and once he hears that Dick Grayson is in trouble, he immediately races to the scene. And he helps him out, and then gives Dick an opportunity to like take a rest because he hasn't been able to sleep because everybody's been trying to kill him. And he's also a public figure now, so he's trying to like show a brave face, but he's also not been able to sleep soundly. So like Wally just makes him move into his house and sleep a night on the couch, and it's really nice. It's a great issue. It's a really fun.
But where's the dog?
The dog comes. Well, he asks Wally to recover Haley and bring it to their house.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, they call him Bitewing, but like it's really named Haley after the circus.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
What?
I skipped the Haley part.
I know that was his actual name. What people call him. Bitewing.
I guess that makes more sense if you're trying to keep a secret identity.
Right. Why did you name your dog after the superhero you look exactly like? Oh. But yeah.
Irony.
Right. I don't know. Is it ironic to look exactly like a character that you literally are?
Shut up! You don't know what it is either.
But it's a fun issue. I highly recommend it. Fun art. It's fine. The art's good, but it isn't redondo. So
it's not redondo.
It's not redondo.
That's okay.
It ain't redondo, but it is. But it is fine.
If you give me my issue over there, we can jump into this one. Unless you want to jump into some super chats.
No, that's what I was thinking about doing while we transition over to you talking about this book.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay, Brian Rowland says Marvel just needs to take a little bit of Reckoning War crap out of the Trial of the Watcher, and they have a solid What If book. That's what I heard. Yeah, I haven't read it, but I did hear a little summary which Tiffany gave me off mic, and it went from something that I would never read to something that I would probably check out.
Yeah.
Living Freak, interested in learning more about the new classic Superman Batman comic. Are we to assume this is set in the early post-crisis timeline? Yes, you are correct to assume that. Eku Zodia says, "Hey, Sal and Tiff, might be off topic, but should I get into Spawn? I know how Curse of the Spawn went on GBU, so I'm nervous. Keep it up, you guys. Thank you, man." No, honestly, the writer of that was not a regular writer on the classic Spawn series, nor did they write anything Spawn related outside of Curse of the Spawn. Or if they did, it was like few and far between, and you'd never find it anymore. Also, that Spawn, you don't see him anymore. Like he's gone. If you want to get into Spawn, honestly, I mean, like you might want to check out King Spawn because it's more about Al, and that's new and it has like modern art in it. But if you want to get into classic Spawn, you should read probably the first 50, if not 100 issues of Spawn. If you want to know, because like here's the thing, for me, the best, like if you want to get into the max, you read the first 12 issues and you're good. Like you're done.
Mm-hmm.
However many issues they did from the MTV show, that's all you need. Because I was rereading the end of the Max and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. But I do love that character and I love that universe and I love that mythology, and I just understand when it's time for my ride to stop and for me to get off. With Spawn, if you want to know how Al goes, the first 100 issues, that's Al.
Okay.
Pricey Eddie 40. If Nightwing 90 taught me anything, it's that I should be reading Flash now that Wally is acting like Wally again. Yeah, Wally is back, and he's Flash, and Barry's busy. So,
he's busy.
If you want to know what he's doing, read Justice League Incarnate. NB Yellow Paladin, it's my birthday today, so here's some money for you. Well, happy birthday, NB Yellow Paladin. Thank you very much for your support.
I hope our population give you some birthday cheers in the
chat
there.
If they haven't, wish NB Yellow Paladin a happy birthday. Living Free, quick, someone put a cell phone up to Armstrong's severed ear and see if he can hear it. Yeah, right?
Like,
hey. I don't know if I don't think it's a magic ear or if an Armstrong will grow out of the other ear.
Send pizza.
Supreme Omega, hello. Hope you guys are having a decent spring. We're trying, man. It's a very lovely day today, and we were out a little bit. And this weekend we really did more.
Tomorrow will be nice.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday's going to be crappy. Thursday's going to be crappy. But Friday should be nice.
There you go.
And so should Saturday, which is good.
Yes.
If you're going to visit us at the Joe Kubert
If you're going to come to the Joe Kubert School on March 26th, Saturday, 2 p.m., which you should. Sick says, wish I could see you guys in person, but I live a few too many continents away.
That does put a little crimp in the plan there.
Also, have you read Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor? Happy 8 years. Thank you very much. Yes, we've been reviewing it as it comes out, although I think I missed the most recent issue. But listen, it's a great series. You should definitely read it.
It is.
It's great.
Just let Tom Taylor just play in different pockets of places.
Yeah.
What?
So Eternal's the Heretic.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I meant that. Oh, I was supposed to say that. So Eternal's the Heretic, written by Kieran Gillen, with art by Ryan Bodenheim and Edgar Salazar. There's two artists on this because Bodenheim passed away.
Oh. I did not know that.
I didn't either until I got to the last page which said in memory of.
Oh my God.
And I was
and he passed away last year.
Yeah, probably at the end of the year. I didn't get a chance to
get into it. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Right.
Like, if math is correct, 44, 45-ish.
Yeah, 77 to 21. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oof. I will say the art in this is great.
Yeah.
We've had Ribic on the main title, who is like, your cup of tea or not, but this is like
it looks like Ribic meets Jared's.
It looks like Ribbit meets Darrington to me.
Oh,
a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
But I can also say Jared's as well. I can see that too. It's a really lovely, beautiful style. And I'm sad that we've lost this creator.
Yeah, that blows.
For sure. But this, what a great story to
go out on.
Yeah, to go out on. A story that I don't know how many people picked up, but like, you don't have to be reading Eternals to grab these little one shots. It's just, if you have any interest in just like Thanos at all, grab this.
Because and Kieran Gillen's interpretation of Thanos, like,
it's,
first of all, it dwarfs Hickman's.
It does.
And the only other one worth a damn is Jim Starlin's.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get any more of that.
No. And there's a lot more to that. But like, you'll know that like Thanos is Prime Eternal, and like you can know what that means or not. It really doesn't matter. You can figure it out. It's Prime Eternal. It probably means he's the leader or something.
He's in charge. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what this is about. This is really about Thanos meeting his grand uncle.
Oh, okay.
And like Kieran Gillen uses the world mind to like give cheeky narration throughout here up until we go to Uranos.
Yes.
To talk to him, because she's like, listen, listen, like you can rely on someone else to give you that because that guy is scary. I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
And then she comes back eventually. And I was like, that's really funny. And like we see him, and it's a spectacular reveal, first of all, for this character in this book.
He looks like Darkseid.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god.
Excuse me. But like
Excuse me.
what I really enjoy is actually this panel here because you can see how much he dwarfs Thanos.
Oh, that's cool.
So like it's just a cool reveal. You know, they explain a little bit about families in terms of the Eternals because the Eternals should not have children. They don't have children,
right?
Except a true Eternal, which is why Thanos is not a true Eternal because through other means, Thanos and his brother Eros
came about.
But he is part of like a family lineage because his grandfather is Kronos, who is the brother of Uranus, and then there's also Oceanus. I want to say it like that.
Oh, like Oceanus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that like each of those family units are like they're the three patriarchs, and each one of them, other than like being slightly more powerful than everyone else, also when like a Unimind is called, they get to cast a vote for everyone in their family.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
interesting.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's Uranus that inevitably wants to like. He's like This is there must be something in like obviously there's no like real like family trees like there are for humans, right? Like this is like assigned by the Celestials. Like, oh, technically, like this person's dad or whatever. You know what I mean? Like technically, I think Thena and Thanos are like cousins.
Oh, okay.
So
right, but who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
No one in authority gives a crap.
But like Thanos, you know that like drive and that desire to like. Obviously, it comes with his musings or his muse death.
Yeah,
his infatuation that's brought up.
Okay,
Uranus makes fun of him for that.
Cool.
A little bit, and but like Uranus has that drive.
Yeah,
like
that's where he gets it
from.
from.
He's like, you tried to kill half the universe. He's like, why only half?
Why only half?
You're so pathetic.
Oh,
like he just gives Thanos.
That's
really
cool
because
it really bother him, but yeah.
But Uranus, like he's the one he kills all the deviants, or he wants to kill all the deviants. He commits genocide. Like there's like cloning involved there, but the original Uranus is like put away. He's judged and like deemed really to go to death, but he's set himself up that like if you kill him, like everything will like the machine will cease to exist, and they need it because the machine is the inner workings of Earth, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, you can't kill me,
right?
So what are you gonna do? So he's just been in prison for like ever.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
So it's just a really dope conversation that gives you some history. So if it's
he's got Omega beams. Come on.
Yeah, that's one of his powers is he can shoot. That's what it says. He can shoot rays out of his eyes.
Are they special rays? Are they gamma beams?
No, I think they're just regular things.
Are they alpha beams?
He does give Thanos like the like key to the like machine's arsenal though. He's like, here you go.
Cool.
He's like, why not? Like,
yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. Like maybe you won't disappoint me entirely.
Oh.
And like Thanos says goodbye to his granduncle, and he goes, grandfather. Like he's just like, no, you're more like me than my own grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah. This is after he like tortured his parents and everything.
Sure,
like that.
of course.
So he's making connections. There's a family reunion, but it's just a really like just short issue, just really well written, and like I said,
and a breathtaking cover.
Beautiful, like amazing cover.
Now, you talked about this, right?
It's by Andrea Sorrentino.
It looks like it's by Ribic.
It does look like it's.
And I think it's the coloring.
I think it's the enhanced pencils with the coloring on it.
Yeah.
It's just a gorgeous cover. I tend to buy digital now, just
but you
because
saw
we're running out of room, and I was like, I have to have this, so I grabbed this. And then to find out that like, the artist on this book, Ryan Bodenheim, had passed, I was like, I'm glad I have this. I really am. But I highly recommend, like I said, you don't have to read it. You do not have to read Eternals to grab this. You can just pick this up and enjoy it. It's just a like solid story. It's going to give you just a little more information about the Eternals just in general, just something to keep back in your head. And it's really focused on Thanos. So even if you don't like the rest of the Eternals, you can learn about like kind of where like maybe Thanos, according to Gillen, gets a little bit of his drive from.
That's cool.
So check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put this now.
Oh, we'll just give it to me.
There we
go. In the meantime, we have a couple more super chats to get to.
That's very kind, and I see some nice birthday wishes. So thanks,
Agreed.
everybody.
Dr. Bright says, Tiffany, you have a great hat collection.
Thank you.
It's true, she does, and it's expansive. Let me tell you, this one is from Cerro Gordo.
Yeah.
Or if you're not familiar with the channel Ghost Town Living.
Yep. Yeah, I like that whole thing. I don't know. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun. I don't know. I was so glad to have this hat. Yeah. I have quite a few hats. This one really was just I had this on the table.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Living Freak, just out of curiosity, will you guys have any extracurricular activities while at the Joe Kubert School besides a live episode of Back Issues? I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of enough, but I will say when we usually do these, we're treating it like a panel at a Comic-Con. So what?
Sing along with Ben.
Oh, that's perfect. So we're gonna need some suggestions for Ben to have to pick something. I don't know what it's gonna be.
We like it's just throw songs out there and let's just see what Ben thinks are the lyrics to it. I hope you're not watching, Ben.
He usually is. So what I will say is that we will be doing a Q&A afterwards. So it's going to be the show, and then who knows? Because honestly, like, we don't have like an end time, and I deliberately didn't set one up because we go over time whenever we do anything, and I didn't want to pigeonhole us into being like, it's only going to be an hour. Especially now that we're doing a Back Issues, I was like, it's not going to be an hour. It's going to be more than that. Especially because like my favorite in-person nerd events were usually Kevin Smith events. And I remember, I think when my pal Jason, who's been on the couch a number of times, our pal Jason, and I went to go see him at Bloomsburg University, he talked for 5 hours.
That is not how long we'll be talking.
We will not be doing that, but I can see how easy it is because when we did our 100K live stream special, it was almost 8 hours. So I feel like, you know, the thing is with the Q&A is so informal and so much more like intimate. If they go like, you have to leave now, we can just go down to the comic book store while you shop, and you can just ask me questions, and we'll just talk to you there. Because they'll be thrilled to see you in the comic book store downstairs, which is Dewey's Comic City, which is located in scenic Dover, New Jersey, in the art store of the Kubert School.
Yes.
And hey, maybe you might meet superstar artist Anthony Marquez. He might be there too. Who knows? He has not committed, so I'm not going to say he's going to be there.
No.
But maybe he'll show up to just make sure we don't break anything.
That would be probably smart.
Kingsport Cal, digging Tiff's old lady shawl.
Thank you.
That is not an old lady shawl.
I'm gonna slide gently and
this is quickly. A fun. This is a springtime sweater.
It is a springtime sweater, but like, let's be honest, when you see it like this,
yes, it does look like a shawl.
Yeah, I got that.
It's got sleeves.
I got some grandma vibes going. That's okay. I'm gonna slide flawlessly into that like old lady. Like, get off my lawn. Cats
mode.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea. So I was gonna skip this book, but I read it because people said
Bay.
What? 92 Point Bay. That's right. Amazing Spider-Man. Number 92 Point Bay. This is written. Who the hell knows who wrote this damn thing? It
was written by people. For people.
And drawn by Bruno Oliveira, Frank Galen, Luigi Zagaria, and Mark Bagley. So you could, for a regular sized comic book, because for some reason Marvel just can't get fucking Spider-Man books out on time. So but Amazing Spider-Man number 92 Point Bay is not a Spider-Man book, so don't be reading this for Spider-Man. But that's been the case for the last at least whenever they started. But that doesn't say it's a bad book. I remember hearing a lot of praise, or at the very least like hype around this issue, and I'm like, why? So I read it, and it's a sequel to Next Wave.
Okay, I think it's Jed
McKay wrote
Zeb
some of this.
Wells and Cody Ziegler.
Yeah, that's what it says on the top of the cover there.
That's what this says,
and that's what that says.
A few pencilers, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, it's a sequel to Next Wave. Monica Rambeau shows up to destroy the Beyond Corporation, or at least the location that's generating bad guys, while Misty and Colleen are fighting a vampired out lizard. Monica goes and frees Machine Man, who was a remnant of the Iron Man run. That is to say, I believe it's the Dan Slott Iron Man run. She's like, that's enough out of you being lame. You're a member of Next Wave, damn it. So she and he team up, kill a whole bunch of bad guys, and then use the Star Portal to get out of there and destroy the Beyond Corporation. Whatever the hell the head of the Beyond Corporation's name is, I don't remember because it's so stupid. Vows to take revenge and implies that like Beyond has battled Next Wave before, that maybe like that was involved with the Agents of Hate. I don't know. I was just like, really? So that was in there, and I was like, that's kind of fun. Like, look at that. And it's more like a fun exploration of like where Monica Rambeau is right now and what her thinking is. And you'd think like, yeah, Jed McKay is like the new hotness over at Marvel. At the very least, like he's making a big name for himself, you know? And so he's like, Monica's going, I feel like, you know, this is some strategic chess, some comic book chess. Monica will be in, if not one of the stars of the Marvels, a movie that will feature prominently multiple iterations of Captain Marvel, which is to say Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan's Captain Marvel, and the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, I should say. But she's going to be a breakout character is what I'm saying. It's like people are going to love Monica Rambeau if they didn't already from that WandaVision show. And it would make sense to like set up who she is and where she is and what her motivations are now before they give her a 6-issue limited series that's built as an ongoing. So yeah, but a fun issue. Hey, it also pays tribute to and plays off of the Jeffrey Thorne Slingers issue. So that like it's like an anthology. It's like 3 different stories in here. So like they pay off that. Yeah, and they pay off the whole battle with the vampire lizard. And the end result is that Morbius and Kirk Connors are going to work together on something over there and not in Spider-Man anymore.
That's good.
Which no one could care less about.
Your vampire lizard science over there,
please, if you would. But yeah, it's a fun issue, and I enjoyed it. I read it from beginning to end. And it's really fun. Mark Bagley's art was a welcome change. There's like a full page splash of Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, which I'm like, look at him go. And if you ever met Mark Bagley, and I know I've only done it once, but like he's one of those artists who hates their old work. He's like, no, one of my old pieces. I've evolved from there. He's happy to sign it, but he's always like, no, but I'm better now. And I'm like, that's kind of cute. Look at him go. Like, he hasn't lost his
no, he's still going.
His tenacity.
No.
But he drew everything that you like about the Clone Saga from the 90s. Like he probably drew something awesome out of it, or at least like drew the shit out of it, or tried to. Now he's like, well, the best thing about it was just Ben Reilly and the superior and the sensational spider suit. So I'm just going to draw that as much as I can. Just here you go.
Right.
So you get that. And it's like, yeah, there you go. So fun issue. I enjoyed it. But it's not about Spider-Man. So, if you're looking for more Spider-Man, or you're like, man, let's see what Jed McKay has to say about Spider-Man, like don't bother.
Okay.
Joshua Link can't stick around today, but I love the Eternals, the Heretic, and had to hear Tiffany's opinion about it before jumping off. Uranus is terrifying. Yeah.
He is. No, he really is. I was like, holy crap. I'm not always a big fan of the idea of there being a bigger bad than the biggest bad, but like this, like that's the thing about Gillen. Like he doesn't do something as like a stunt or something cheaply. Typically, it's something where he's just like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, no, this guy was doing this crap before you ever came along, Thanos.
Right.
And he was doing it in a more like.
Are you saying that's like a meta thing where it's like Darkseid was before you and he was better than you?
Oh, I guess I could be saying that. But like, I really was honestly just saying that, like, in terms of their history, Uranus did all this stuff before.
Yeah.
Before any of this even happened with you.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, and he was doing it not at necessarily half measures in his eyes.
Right.
Like he was like, no, I'm going to kill everything.
I'll kill everything.
And then he was like, you know what? I should do. Part of his plan in that book is he's like, here's what I propose, brothers. Here's the plan. Ready for this? We should kill everything.
Oh, everything? Yeah, including you.
No. He's like, the problem is like the Celestials gave us these like rules, but they're like wrong, right? So like the only thing that should survive are us, right? So like the machine isn't Earth, it's actually like the inner workings, right? So like we should kill everything on Earth, and we should make it mobile, and we should start going throughout the galaxy and like killing and pillaging from planets to keep things going and to make the machine bigger.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
holy shit, dude.
They're like
ambitious.
It's not a no.
No, but let's dial it down a little bit. Cat
put
Lawyer
that on a post-it note and put it right up here.
Yeah. Cat Lawyer will defend for treats. Happy Back Issues Day. Just wanted to know what's the best place to read previews. I did it on Comixology, but I can't. I like seeing art before buying.
I struggle with that too now because I used to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like it really throws me off now.
I do go. Here's what we use. For these preview things, we use LegoComicGeeks.com.
But you can't really see the art.
But you can't see the art on the inside. You can only see variant covers, which is still helpful, but like
not really,
not enough. So usually the publishers' websites will give you something.
Hmm.
So like I know DC has like a preview for every issue, and Marvel should, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Gee, it's almost like putting all your eggs in one basket was a bad idea. So yeah, and the fodder box kid, by the way, is Maxine Danger. Thank you. Yes, that's very true. She's the rich and important character. I wanted to say hello and thank you guys for inspiring me to write again. I've been developing my own indie comic for about a hero with music-based powers.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Good luck. Keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for letting us help you be inspired.
Yeah.
There you go. AIPT. I can't remember what the hell they're called. But that website that like uses the WordPress template that showed up out of nowhere. Yes, use them.
Nice. Oh, WordPress.
They sure do. No, you could just buy that template and be like, I'm them too. I don't know where they came from.
Real quick before we jump into that, I want to talk about a book that came out last week that I was like, I will talk about this next week when I know I don't have a whole lot of books going on. Sabretooth #2 came out.
Oh yeah.
Here's a book I was like, I don't know about this book.
Yes, that was very much that book.
I still don't know about this book. This is written by Victor Lavelle with art by Leonard Kirk. I was trying to make that to Leonardo in ways you couldn't comprehend.
But
it's not. It's Leonard Kirk.
But look at that sick Ryan Stegman cover.
I mean, yeah, the cover's great.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the cover is great. Listen, we this feels. Remember those like random people who came and showed up at the end of the book, like these random mutants who clearly all have like a history, and I didn't bother to really research any of them whatsoever. We find out how they all get put down there
to hell.
And then like one of them immediately like who's kind of cool. I dig him quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Easy Rollins is his name.
Okay.
I really like him quite a bit. Third Eye is, I think, his mutant name. Okay. But like he figures out that like they're basically in a pit and Krakoa is like cradling them, possibly living off of them. I don't know, right? But they're in like, this suspended animation sort of state where like their brains are active, but like that's it, and they're that's going on.
Yeah.
Like that's all that's happening, which is kind of what we all assumed, right? And,
naturally.
They figure the only way out of there is for someone else to know what's going on because like independently, each of them who are down there with Sabretooth as he's like chasing them through hell recognize that like someone's always like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's ever do this to us, and they're like he wouldn't. Like everything I know about him, even though he threw us down here, there's like literally no way. They are like he clearly doesn't know what's going on down here. Like he doesn't know.
Of course not. Otherwise it'd stop it.
Yeah, so like it's all an illusion. It's the illusion that Sabretooth obviously created for them. So then like eventually Sabretooth like puts them into like a prison, right?
Oh my god.
Instead, so they can all talk about it. But like Third Eye decides that he's going to try to get someone up top to like help them, right? And so like he uses someone's fear because like it's easy to like basically astral project, but it's really easy to get lost. And so he like utilizes fear, and so like one mutant's having a like nightmare about Sabretooth attacking them.
Okay.
And it's Mole.
Oh.
From the Morlocks. And so like he tries to get people to help him, and we see that this is like taking place in the past.
Okay.
Because like Apocalypse is there.
Oh.
And like Storm is not on Arakko.
Right.
In her like now permanent, like I wore this costume to the Hellfire Gala, but now this is
I think I'm just gonna wear this. This is me now.
This is me.
Yeah.
But she's not in that. Wolverine, Angel, nobody will help him, right? So he's like, I guess I'll just do it myself. They all end up in like this like fake prison that Sabretooth designs for them. He says they're down there forever. They're like, I don't know about that. Like, whatever. Like, we're supposed to be here to like be penitent for what we did.
Right. There should be like an end date.
And the difference is that like with Sabretooth, I think they felt like they're like, you're never
we're not getting
to be penitent.
No, yeah. Well, we sent like Cipher to figure it out, and he knows you're never gonna feel bad, but he's also an idiot about it for some reason.
And like so the problem with this book is that like I really thought we were going one way with this book, and we're clearly not. And I have yet to get over that. Like I was like, oh my gosh, we're actually going to see like Sabretooth like come around to the other side there, and like have these different versions of himself and really war with it, because it's like there's been many iterations and incarnations of Sabretooth in his long history, much like Wolverine. And that like he's gonna have to come to terms with this in order to like be free of it. But no, it's just like, but no, everyone, screw them. And I'm like,
oh my god, Sabretooth.
But you are an asshole and a murderer, right?
He's like, yeah, but like I don't feel bad about that.
I'm like,
right, but like you don't get to like have a leg to stand on. Like you can't feel justified in it.
Yeah,
you have to admit you're a hypocrite as well.
Yeah, and like this just like I don't know when this was supposed to come out. I don't know what anything
behind
it. It just feels like yet another like let's pile on like Xavier and Magneto are wrong.
Are
And I'm
wrong.
like, listen, I'm not saying they're right, but like this one's so bizarre because I'm like, yeah, but it is Sabretooth.
Right.
Like out of all the villains they brought to Krakoa, right? Like most of them
I
can
mean,
be
Apocalypse.
but most of them can be civil about it.
Yeah,
right? Like
that's
most
true.
of them have been civil about like what has been going on, and they understand they have a greater understanding, and they're not just running around murdering people.
Well, which is why I think Hickman was smart enough to be like, let's get rid of Sabretooth like in the first issue.
Yeah, we need to deal with this. We need to square this circle.
Yeah.
Immediately.
He's like, he clearly is also like, I don't care about Wolverine or his history, so like, I don't have any plans for him.
Yeah, I've got no.
Stick him in the ground.
Wolverine has whatever. I also appreciate is it did open up Wolverine to be able to deal with other elements of his history that weren't just Sabretooth. Like you couldn't just rely on the crutch of Wolverine v Sabretooth.
Right.
Like,
yeah, but I haven't seen a good Wolverine v Sabretooth book in like decades.
So like I think I'm definitely going to pick up the next issue, but like this issue for me, I was just like, okay, this is hard for me because this is a character I'm struggling to get behind. You know, he is the like titular character, but
Yeah.
and he's the one I don't know if I'm supposed to be rooting for or not, but I really just don't. I can't get behind him.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Good.
Can't get behind him.
That means you're not psycho. So do you recommend the book anyway?
I don't know. I think if you are a Sabretooth fan, if you're like the person who's just like, I want more Sabretooth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Right. Thank you, Mason Brown. Living Freak, by any chance, have you seen or heard about the fallout between NECA Toys and Target after this haul-a-thon fiasco that happened this past weekend? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry I missed that.
Abe Sapien, thanks for recommending the Batman. It left me wanting more.
Please.
I was mesmerized by the cinematography and love how Alfred was written. Also, Trial of the Amazons is a great high recommendation. All right. I haven't read any of Trial of the Amazons. I did buy it, though.
Right.
So I will be reading that eventually. But yeah. Riv Wilson, I started Inferno, and I like this Destiny character. I hope it works out for her. Well, you can learn more about that from reading The 10 Lives of Wolverine #5 from Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara.
Yeah, I read that this week, and like this is out of the like 10 whatevers of Wolverine. This be my book, and this for me. I know this is not a book for everybody because I've seen people being like, I don't like this. I don't like this book.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
I don't like this.
I don't like the Lives one. That's okay. It's okay. I will say, the Lives one can be read
without the deaths.
Without the deaths, in my opinion. Because like the last bit of this, they definitely reference it.
Yeah.
But it's literally the last few pages.
Right. That's amazing.
But this is just a Wolverine story.
Yeah.
Where like, hey, there's weird stuff going on Krakoa, and like you kind of need to know a little bit about it, but not necessarily because the real adventure here is Wolverine going back through his lives and Wolverine re-examining that. And that's what we get here. And this story is just I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed this book. It's written by Ben Percy with art by Joshua Cassara. Cassara's art, I can't wait to see more. I really just cannot wait to see more.
Please draw more.
Please draw more. That is my note. That is my note. But listen, you know how you were saying I miss a Wolverine versus Sabretooth story?
Yes. For you Omega Red fans, maybe this is what you're missing.
I was going to say, like, this is what that feels like.
Yeah.
Anyway. Because, like, at the end of this, they have their slugfest.
Right.
And
okay.
It is done in a way that only Wolverine can do that type of thing.
Nice.
Where it's like, you know, Omega Red's been like hopping through time and like jumping into bodies, trying to kill Xavier earlier on in his life so that like Mikhail can, you know, bring an end to whatever to Xavier and Krakoa, presumably, right? But like, I don't know how that would trickle down through the timeline, but listen, let's not think about that. That's what we're doing, and that's where we're stopping. So what are we going to do? We need to use Wolverine because he has the longest life.
Yes. And
will help us because Apocalypse isn't around and he's not going to help us anyway. And send him back to jump into his body and make him be able to get to those points. Luckily, Wolverine tends to actually be around most of the area where
Xavier happens to be.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
convenient, but let's not focus.
I'd say it's convenient, but there's also something charming about that like there was always something that drew Wolverine
to Xavier.
To Xavier's.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Or there's something about like these big events, because a lot of times there are bigger things like wars going on that like whatever way, like the Xaviers were involved in it, and so was Wolverine. Like he couldn't help himself; he had to be involved in whatever was happening. Right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, that's really cool. But like, you know, in the last like issue, Wolverine's current Krakoan body was taken over by Omega Red, and they had lost Wolverine.
Yeah, and
so like they go to find, like, you know, Jean and Xavier are trying desperately to get him back. That's kind of the only thing that they're worried about now.
Okay,
I really appreciate.
Yeah,
that's all they care about. They do. It's dope. This happens.
Oh,
which I love. Wolverine awakens and Jean like gives him the biggest kiss.
What?
Which is fine.
What?
That's acceptable.
I know, but this is the first time we've seen it in any of these books.
Yep.
Which I can imagine Hickman being like, no.
Yeah, it's cute. And it's funny because like then they all have like a little family photo moment of like all three of them. And I was like, that's really charming and very sweet. Like,
yeah.
But then Wolverine recognizes that he's like, when Omega Red was in my head, I got a glimpse at his and I know where he is. And now it's time for us to have the fight we all wanted to see.
Yeah.
And so he goes alone, basically. He's dropped off and they just have this dope fight like in the snow.
You hear that, Greg? Check it out. Actually, Wolverine fighting Omega Red, despite all the other books where you've seen Wolverine fighting Omega Red, but it's a fake out or a lie.
Yeah.
You actually see that?
You actually get to see it happen.
Cool. In the snow.
In the snow. And like, it also like shows him fighting all the other iterations of him as like Wolverine's narrating over his like, what it's like to live this many lives and like how you lose things and you lose things for a number of reasons and how he's always trying to sort things out. It's just really cool. It's just very cool. And like the end of the fight, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it is a very dope ending to the fight. Just very like
nice.
Everything that it should be.
Cool.
For them, in my opinion.
That's great.
And then Wolverine returns home.
Mm-hmm. And then his like Terminator body shows up and he's like, bah.
He gives him, he goes to give the Cerebro sword to Sage. He's like, I'm giving this to you, and then I'm going to go and take a nap for a year. And he's like resting in the chair, like near there, and she's like, hey, Wolverine. He's like, She's like, you can't yet.
You can't rest.
Krakoa's under attack.
Right. By you.
By you.
And I guess the other Wolverines, right?
Yeah.
No, he's convinced the other Wolverines to betray
listen,
Krakoa.
Like, this is like, now I'm a little more excited for 10 Deaths of Wolverine number 5 because it ties so much into X Lives. But like 10 Lives of Wolverine was the book for me. This is the one I really enjoyed because I like those kind of like moments.
Introspective like sad, sorry, like or quiet. Things.
Yeah, stories where that it is punctuated by hyperviolence and
that's always cool.
Amazing art that does such a great job of depicting not only the violence but the quiet and the beauty and like the loneliness, and it's just everything about Cassara's art I felt really worked for this book, especially since we were jumping through time.
Yeah.
Nails action sequences, like I said, nails like the quiet like moments for Wolverine just pondering or thinking or just being sad.
Yeah.
Different ages of Wolverine completely nails the different body types.
Right.
I really appreciate that because not every artist can do that. And then also I love the fact that like even like the kiss between the two of them, it's so like it's just one panel, but like you capture all of the motion, the emotion in it. It's just really well done. Cassara knocks it out of the park, and I just really like the story. Like I said, I know this isn't for everybody, but in my opinion, this one, if you want to grab just those 5 issues, you could read this
and then just read the last issue of 10 Deaths and be like, there you go.
Or not, because this adventure is over.
Right, that's done.
Like, this problem was solved.
Yes, they resolved it.
It's done.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's pretty cool. What was it? The Mongoose. Let's read Mongoose's comment. Mongoose, the artist, says, loved X Lives. Made me felt to me like a classic Wolverine story.
Yeah.
3 current favorites are Moon Knight, Action Comics, and The Flash. Go Gladiator, Superman. Yeah.
I'm also digging Moon Knight as well, but I agree 100%. There is something classic about 10 Lives. Whereas it's funny because it is so intrinsically tied to Krakoa and this time period, yet there's something about it that feels like that classic sort of like Wolverine tale of him on his own, even though he's not on his own in this.
Yeah.
Whereas 10 Deaths is just a Wolverine story with Krakoa. It's all about Krakoa.
Yeah.
It's all about Krakoa, and it's really about Moira.
Yeah.
And more so Wolverine now.
Yeah.
But just 2 very different feels, which I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
They didn't I really, regardless of how you feel about these 2 books, like they did a good job of making these 2 books feel entirely different from one another.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, almost too different. I'm kind of worried like about how it's going to be collected because it's going to be one trade, both books.
I know.
And that's too bad.
I wish they did both. I wish they would do like a combined trade for people who are just like, no, I just want the whole thing because I read all of it, or people who are just like, I just want to read the 10 Lives or the 10 Deaths. Like, yeah. And like I know they would probably make more money doing that.
Yeah.
Especially if they didn't overcharge for them.
Knowing Marvel, they'll probably do both.
So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so let me talk about the Batman Superman World's Finest #1 from Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Hooray, Dan Mora doing some DC
He's so
stuff.
Good.
So of course, if it's Dan Mora and he's doing a classic Batman, this is a like in the past story. It takes place whenever, in the past. Couple of quick things.
Okay,
Number
what do you got?
one, Dan Mora uses the Batman 89 logo for classic Batman. When Batman's younger, he has the little like
The
extra thing.
Yeah.
It's very distracting. I don't know if I like it or not.
Okay,
It's
well,
cool that
here's
he's
the thing.
doing it.
I bet you and 10 other people noticed it.
You're probably right. The other thing is with Superman, his crest, he has a very dark outline around it. That was also very. It was something I noticed.
Well, it depends on if he decided that or the inker decided that.
Right? I don't know, but it's very noticeable. It's just one thing where I'm like, it's just a very interesting decision, and it's their logos, so it's like really noticeable.
Okay.
Anyway, so also, what do you think of the logo for World's Finest?
There's something like,
because I think it's like trying too hard. I think it's a little overdone.
So it's
where the W is the bat,
the W's the bat, and the E has the crest.
Yeah.
No, I immediately saw that. I get what they're going for here.
Yeah.
It has a classic feel to it. It's trying to make you think of comics from the past.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit evocative of Man of Steel,
which probably makes sense because of the writer who's on it. So they're trying to give you the idea that like you're going to be reading something that is modern yet, probably has a more classic touch to it. So I feel like that's probably the route that they went in terms of creating this logo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, I don't care for it.
Gradients are in, man. I just don't know if this is the best gradient.
Yeah, no.
But like, you know, it's funny when I see it there, like when I see it on there from here,
looks pretty good.
Looks better.
Yeah,
like in person, I don't know. Maybe it'll win me over.
Right.
But I do like the idea behind it that like clearly it's for. We're right. I don't know.
I think it is.
That's to make you think of like the past.
Yeah. So the idea is there's an evil there's a new or a past evil that is coordinated Batman and Superman villains to fight Batman and Superman, and that's what the ongoing mystery is.
Mm-hmm.
Poison Ivy attacks the Daily Planet when Batman and Robin show up to fight her. Metallo shows up because Superman's helping them out. Mm-hmm. So then they have to defeat Poison Ivy. Metallo takes down Superman, but Metallo is not going to waste his green kryptonite on Superman because he needs it to power his heart. And so instead he injects a cocktail of different variants of red kryptonite, which basically they're unpredictable and it causes Superman to go haywire. But with like 20 of them all blended together in a radioactive cocktail that he injects into Superman, who knows what will happen. So the real problem is Superman's unpredictable freaking out. Because they could easily defeat Poison Ivy with Superman on their team, which they did. There's also a flashback that kind of like reinforces Superman and Batman's relationship. Like we need that, where they defeat Penguin. Like Penguin has kidnapped Robin, and Batman and Superman defeat the Penguin. And Batman's like, "Hey man, listen, like this is so funny because the book takes place in the past, and then they do a flashback to even more in the past. And in that flashback, Batman's like, hey, like we don't really know each other very well, but like you had my back, so I'll always have your back. You're cool. Like we're friends." And it's like, oh, that's nice. And the only reason it's there is so that Batman can call upon it later in the same issue and be like, I've always got your back. And Superman's like, oh, because Superman's like addled by the red kryptonite. And so he's seeing his enemies everywhere and he's freaking out. So that's what happens. There's more, which I'll get to in a minute, which I'm very excited about.
By the way, no, Dan is just the artist on this. He does everything but the colors.
Yeah.
Tamara Bonvillain does all the colors.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
She's like,
because she's great.
Because she's perfect.
Yeah.
Or Tamara,
I believe it's.
I always
Tamara.
add an extra A.
I know
for no reason.
Well, because I've never heard the word Tamara, but I have heard Tamara.
So
I know it's so great. It's
so
fantastic.
Good.
The flashback is also great. I also love it because it's interesting where they do this thing. It's in the past. Dick Grayson's Robin, but he has long pants, which I'm like, it's almost the Robin suit, but he's got long pants because like he'd have shorts. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's chilly.
Yeah,
maybe.
But then we go to the long past, and he has shorts again.
Oh,
so it's like
maybe in Metropolis, he's like, it's gonna be windy.
It's gonna be windy. Yeah, it's basically Chicago.
Put your pants on.
Put your pants on. Put your long pants on.
I
don't know.
Put your big boy pants on. I think it's just dealing with Superman.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, because he might pick you up and like fly you around, and it's gonna get even chillier. So He's
like, I wore my pants. Now he can do it.
Yeah. Now I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's fly.
I mean, whatever. The fact is, they just want to make Robin cooler, and they want people to like enjoy it. Like they want people to think Robin is cool, and they're worried that the pixie boots and shorts are going to make that impossible for people to identify with.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to love about this book. The most notwithstanding the fact that like they're dealing with Superman freaking out, and he's been like infected with this cocktail, and Lois and Jimmy get involved, and one of them says like, we have to call a doctor. Do you know a doctor? And Batman's like, yeah, I think I do know a doctor who specializes in weird shit. So as Superman is losing it and freaking out, Elastigirl shows up and the Doom Patrol.
What?
Yeah, he calls Dr. Niles Calder to help out.
That's not a good idea.
Because I think Mark Waid wants Dan Moore to draw the Doom Patrol, and thank goodness he does, because everyone looks dope.
They do look dope. But
yeah, and no, it's fun because like, so the Doom Patrol get involved, and Batman talks Superman down because he sees Zod and Ursa and everybody, and he's fighting them, and then he sees Batman as Lex Luthor, and he's like, you're seeing crazy visions. It's okay, I'm your friend.
Yeah.
And so Negative Man, yeah, he basically like absorbs the radiation from Superman and and freezes him. So like I can continually pull it, but we need to deal with it.
Yeah.
And the end of the issue, the Doom Patrol also confirm that like the guy who's the crest on the syringe that they'd recovered is a villain that they have dealt with in the past themselves.
Oh.
And so Superman needs help, and Dr. Niles Calder is getting ready to perform surgery, and everyone's like, are you sure that's a good idea? Because this guy is scary and crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a cool idea.
No, this guy is scary and crazy.
Right? So awesome. It's just a delight. It's an overall delight.
Really?
It's a really fun issue. It takes place whenever Who Gives a Shit. Like that's their approach to this book. That I can imagine them being like kind of stuck. They're like, I want Mark Waid to write this book. Mark, have you read anything?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. I want to write Batman and Superman. I have not read anything in the past 15 years. And they're like, okay, just said it in the past. And give him an artist that's new, and just go for it. But yeah, you should definitely read this book. It's fantastic. It's just a really fun little book. It has no bearing on anything. It's just a departure.
All
and
right.
I assume it'll be a mini series because like I can't imagine a book like this that's as fun as this and has like as good art in it as it does, lasting more than like 6 or 12
I don't know. Dan Moore is like a machine.
He is a machine.
He is a machine.
Yeah, but
like,
the other
make
thing
him
is,
draw everything.
The lucky thing is they had time.
Yeah.
Like to prepare for this book.
Yeah.
So who knows how far ahead he is.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm digging it, and I'm all for it. Living Freak. So they turn this World's Finest issue into an anti-drug episode. If that's not an 80s trope, then I don't know what they could have thrown in there. It's not really about drugs.
You got a syringe though.
Yeah, but like so do doctors. Like it's not really about drugs.
But like he is like hallucinating and attacking his friends. You can make parallels.
Yes, no, it's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. So let's jump into some books that we recommend that we think you should pick up. Shall we?
That are coming out this week.
They're coming out literally tomorrow and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well,
Saga number 57.
Oh no, Saga number 57.
55 was the return. 56 was the one that made me feel like I was reading
You're
Saga,
reading Saga
again. And 57.
No,
I hate this character on the cover.
I know,
hey, whatever.
But you love him. You love to hate him.
No, I don't. I just hate him. I just hate him now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love to hate him. Now I just hate him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my, little fun there. 10 Deaths of Wolverine. I always want to read it as X. Number 5. I'm not saying I recommend. I'm saying I'm going to read it for sure. It's the last one in the 10 Deaths and Lives. We'll be done with that for now. And then we should get excited because there's going to be some new books coming out. There's a new Kieran Gillen book coming out. I think it's X Legion.
Yeah, that's
X.
right.
It's
that's
in
not the Cy
back of
Spurrier
that
book, right?
Oh, maybe it is the Cy Spurrier book.
Because Cy Spurrier's taken over for that book that got canceled that's being replaced.
Yeah, it is. Legion of X number 1 is coming out.
Yeah, that's what was it? Way of X?
In a bit. Not right now, I'm just saying, but in April.
April
that's going to be coming out. But like that's the kind of stuff that we're headed towards now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna watch the Avengers and the Eternals fight.
Boy.
I'm gonna read it though. Because who it's written by.
Right? Yeah, Kieran Gillen writing a friggin' no, is it? Or is it Spurrier?
It's Gillen.
It's Gillen.
Because Gillen's setting up the Eternals stuff. And he's gonna write this thing, I believe.
Yeah.
And like I would like to see him write these characters.
Right. And the thing is, like, I don't care about the Eternals. So I get why people are drawing parallels between Inhumans and Eternals where they're pushing the Eternals. It's like, look, the movie failed, we're done. But Kieran Gillen's the only one doing Eternals. There's one Eternals book and occasional like 1 issue or 2 issue spin-offs that are also equally amazing.
Right. I'm sure
so it's
part
not
of it,
the same thing.
I'm sure part of it is there was a push. Like they had an Eternals book coming out. And so like I wouldn't.
But the book was drawn by Assad Ribic with art by Kieran Gillen.
Is like we all do this. I'm not just saying that like I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm saying we all do this type of thing where we get caught up in like, you know, a trend or like a pattern, right? Where it's like when Inhumans were being pushed, it was very different than anything else, right? Like that was a mandate across the board. Where,
and there were like 7 books and it was
and like they were in like, you know, shows and video games, and like we weren't talking about this other group, and like
we were hurting the other group.
That was a push, right? Like anytime that they're going to do like a movie of some sort or TV show, you're going to see like a quote unquote push, but it's nothing quite like that. And I would not ever say that them letting Gillen just run the Eternals for a while and then do one event, because like, let's be honest, they've kind of run out of people for the Avengers to fight.
Right. Well, except for their own friggin' villains.
Right. But like, if you want to have another team, you're going to go.
Right.
So like, yes, did they probably do it because they had a movie?
Yeah.
But like that movie was over.
Yeah, that movie's done. That movie was over years ago. This was
ever coming out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's like a push. I don't think there's some sort of secret mandate where they're like, we got to get the Eternals in there. I think it's just Gillen writes the Eternals. Enough people are like Gillen's work enough to buy it. So they're like, why not?
Okay, well, we're Marvel, so an event.
We need an event.
But like, I'm great. I'm thrilled with it because number 1, Gillen's going to be writing these characters. And number 2, maybe he'll like get rid of that effing Celestial and like we can get the Avengers back to normal again.
Right.
Because I'm so sick of the Avengers.
Because like he's dealing a lot with the Celestials. That's the whole reason that they're like the Eternals are there was to deal with the Celestials.
Well, I know I think the Eternals have a huge problem with them being an Avengers mountain.
Yeah, well, that's like their god.
Yeah, but they don't know that like they got permission from that Celestial to do that.
Right.
But
which sucks because it's like you didn't even talk to us.
That's fun. That's great.
I think Gillen's doing Immortal.
They were dead
X-Men.
at the time. They killed themselves.
That's what he's doing. So
that's right. He is doing that.
So anyway,
Human Target number 6 is, you know, it's perfection in a comic book. You should read it. But we're taking a big break. I'm assuming a year for the next 6 issues. So plenty of time to pick up a Human Target and read the first issue.
There you
6
go.
issues.
Yeah.
Ben Reilly Spider-Man's coming out. I'm not normally reading this. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but like it's DeMatteis doing Spider-Man, so you got to read it.
Okay.
If you like that. Speaking of classic stuff, you could also read Venom Lethal Protector, written by David Michelinie. We're getting some classic Venom.
That's crazy.
I'm just gonna read it and see how it goes. But I don't have a lot of high expectations. Devil's Reign X-Men number 3 is coming out.
Yeah, you've been reading that. I've not been reading that.
It's just good. It's just good stuff.
I'm gonna pick up Task Force Z number 6 because
it's Task Force Z.
Because I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Matt Rosenberg.
Yeah.
On that one. Shang-Chi number 10 is coming out. That's Jean Lewin Young with art now by Marcus Toe, I believe.
Great.
I really like this series, even with the artist shift. Still really enjoying a very different feel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely be checking that out. I might pick up Wolverine Patch.
From Larry Hama.
We'll see. We'll see how the rest of my comic.
Sometimes there's a lot of books.
Looks like, but like I might Demon Days Blood Feud number 1 by Peach Momoko. Anything and everything.
Yeah.
That Peach Momoko does, I'm all about it.
If you are confused by Savage Spider-Man, number 2 comes out this week.
If you're confused by him,
well, because it is nonstop Spider-Man. The book Nonstop Spider-Man became Savage Spider-Man. And if you look closer on the cover, Savage is superimposed over Nonstop.
Right.
So, if you liked that Nonstop Spider-Man from Joe Kelly and Chris Bachalo, the book is continuing, I believe, only by Joe Kelly and a different artist, but like it's Savage Spider-Man now.
Okay. I'm not saying this is something because I haven't been reading any of the Trial of the Amazon, but the Trials of the Amazon Wonder Girl's coming out and Joelle Jones is on it.
What?
I don't know if she's drawing it or not, but Jordi Belair is also on there.
Okay.
Belair, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm going to read the Black Label book, Rogues number 1 from Joshua Williamson. I'm just excited to see like what Joshua Williamson has in store for us in terms of utilizing the Black Label line. I saw a preview image and I'm like, this looks pretty cool.
I didn't even see that.
It's too long up.
But
the cover's great. And I understand it came from like a place or like an original pitch for like an in-universe thing. And it became this other thing. We Have Demons number 1 from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo comes out in physical from Dark Horse Comics. I've read the first 3 issues, of course, because of the Substack thing. This is one of those Substack books. So this is going to be, I think, for a lot of people, your litmus test, right? There's a lot of books that are coming out through Substack.
Wait, I thought We Have Demons was the Comixology.
It was the Comixology.
This is Scott-tober.
This is Scott-tober. This is a Comixology exclusive book
that's
now being published by Dark Horse. I'm sorry.
Hang on.
Yeah, because Chip Zdarsky has a book coming out.
Yeah, which
came out.
But that was also Comixology.
And that was Comixology exclusive as well.
The Night something?
Yeah.
I read like the first issue of it.
Exactly.
It was fun.
It is
very
fun.
fun.
But We Have Demons. I read the first 3 issues. If you would like to read a book that feels like Last Night on Earth meets Spawn, you'll probably enjoy it.
Okay. All right.
And I think that's it.
I'm sure there's other things we either don't see or...
Right? And I know this week Shadow Man came out, and I just didn't get a chance to read it. It was just one of those things. But I do like that book, and you should check it out.
Yes.
So jumping into the super chats before we go. Rebel Friend says, should I try my Rebel Friend?
Soon enough.
We'll deal with him soon enough. Should I try to catch up on X-Men? I'm way behind, and I'm debating on binge catching up what I've missed.
I think it depends on what you're talking about in terms of X-Men. Like, are you talking about just the main X title? Because you should catch up on that pretty easily. If you're talking about like what's going on Krakoa, that's entirely up to you. Some series have just like gone away for right now, but they're going to like either they've ended and are being transformed to something else coming out in March and April and May as we're kind of leaving the Hickman era and starting into this new era of X. I would probably need a little more info about that to give a true like if what you should and what you shouldn't do with that. You could check out some of the events that have been going on. But like really like you know if you've read since the gala.
Yes.
Right. Then, maybe like pick up some of your favorite series just to finish them out just because you enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Right. Like I liked Hellion. So like, that ended and it was a great run and I really enjoyed it. Does it really have too much impact on Krakoa right now? Nobody said, but hey, it was
Probably
still
not.
a great read. Right. But like Inferno.
Right.
You're going to want to read.
You should probably read it. Yeah.
You should definitely read that to get an understanding of the transitionary period.
Yeah.
But then I would just pick your favorite series and maybe just keep up with the main X title.
Scuba J, hi guys. I hope you're both well. Thank you very much. You are too. I hope I just finished and submitted my thesis today, so I suddenly have a lot of less pressure on me.
That is like such an amazing feeling. But then sometimes that feeling you have like right after you have that release, you're like,
you don't know what else to feel.
Am I missing something? What did I not do? And it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
The absence of that feeling feels weird at first, but like enjoy it.
Yeah. Will I Am Golden. What's up, guys? I wanted to recommend Godzilla versus Power Rangers. I didn't realize that was a thing, so I'm excited to know that exists. Thank you.
What was it? Godzilla versus
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. I was like, did you just say that, or did my brain make that will that into being? Because that's amazing.
Brady White, I was super sick the other day, and you and my dogs helped me get better. I hope you all are doing great. I read Batman Damned, then watched the episode yesterday. My mind exploded. Nice. Nice. I'm glad you're feeling better.
I don't think I'm ever going to do a better episode than that episode.
No,
I don't. What's funny is like I feel a lot of passion for a lot of different stories, but I've never felt passion about a book like I felt about that book because it hit on a lot of like notes for me and like it touched a lot of nerves. Let's be honest, in terms of like art. In general and censorship, which is a weird thing because I don't really talk a lot about that, but like that struck some chords.
Yeah, I agree.
Struck some chords for me.
And let us know in the comments or at the very least in this chat what you'd rather see Tiffany host an episode for: the Hellfire Gala or the death of Doctor Strange. I think I know the answer to this question, but we have all these books, and if it is the Hellfire Gala, I think we'd have to lump the Trial of Magneto with the Hellfire Gala since not a lot of things happen in the Hellfire Gala. Two things.
It's like it really is just two things,
right?
It really like it's funny. It's like there are things that happen, but like really, it's like trying to take a bunch of stories and put them into one place and like tie up some loose ends and set up some new arcs, and we go from there.
Yeah, I'd like to see both episodes, but we'll have to determine which one's coming.
Okay.
And of course, the one you're working on right now is the most important, and that's neither of those books.
No, but it's like I will see how this goes.
I'm excited. We'll see. But we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. Listen, if you want to hang out with us some more, come to the Joe Kubert School of Art on Saturday, March 26th at 2 p.m. Go to Julie's Comic City below and buy some comics, hang out with us, go back downstairs, buy some more comics.
Let's be honest. Even if you just come there for the comics and the cake and water.
There's cake and water.
We get it.
Yeah, but we hope to see you there.
Hope to see you.
And let us know if you would like to see us there. That's not going to work for me.
That is not going to.
Well, if you click on the community tab on youtube.com/ComicPop, there's an event. You can let us know if you're actually going to go. It's not important. I don't need to know. The admission's free.
It's just to make sure we have like
a head count.
Yeah, like a small one. You can still show up if you don't say it.
Yeah, but
like, if you don't say it, like that's okay. Still come.
But
like
just come.
It's not one of those things. It's just do I get like one small cake,
or do I get like a big cake?
Or
I
get like a bigger cake?
Exactly. No, Danielle, you can't have any cake.
No, there's no cake for the people working, which is us.
That's right. You get lunch afterwards.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time with a new episode of Off the Rack. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and visit twitch.tv/ComicPop to watch Tiffany play video games, usually during the week. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, everybody. So long.
Bye, guys.